In the vast cosmos of space exploration, there lies an untold story, the story of three extraordinary women who defied racial barriers. Meet Mary Jackson, born in 1921, and Katherine Johnson, born in 1918, both sadly no longer with us, and Dorothy Vaughan, born in 1910. Each faced the harsh realities of racial segregation, yet their determination propelled them into the ranks of NASA. In the face of adversity, they chose to rise, to persist, and to break the racial barriers of their time. Against the backdrop of racial segregation, these three women challenged the status quo and made significant contributions to space exploration. Mary Jackson, born in 1921, rose above societal constraints and etched her name in history as NASA's first black female engineer. Her brilliant mind and relentless spirit shattered glass ceilings, setting the stage for future generations. Then there's In the vast cosmos of space exploration, there lies an untold story, the story of three extraordinary women who defied racial barriers. Meet Mary Jackson, born in 1921, and Katherine Johnson, born in 1918, both sadly no longer with us, and Dorothy Vaughan, born in 1910. Each faced the harsh realities of racial segregation, yet their determination propelled them into the ranks of NASA. In the face of adversity, they chose to rise, to persist, and to break the racial barriers of their time. Against the backdrop of racial segregation, these three women challenged the status quo and made significant contributions to space exploration. Mary Jackson, born in 1921, rose above societal constraints and etched her name in history as NASA's first black female engineer. Her brilliant mind and relentless spirit shattered glass ceilings, setting the stage for future generations. Then there's Katherine Johnson, born in 1918. Her extraordinary mathematical prowess was instrumental in the success of Apollo 11. Her calculations guided astronauts safely to the moon and back, a feat that was once considered impossible. And let's not forget Dorothy Vaughan, born in 1910. She blazed her own trail as the first African-American supervisor at NASA. Her leadership and technical skills were invaluable in the organization's early days. Their contributions, often overlooked, played a crucial part in the success of numerous space missions. These women not only shattered the racial barriers in space exploration, but also left a lasting legacy. Their invaluable contributions paved the way for future generations, transforming NASA into a beacon of inclusivity and diversity. Posthumously, they were bestowed with prestigious awards and recognitions, their names etched in the annals of history. These unsung heroes, through their determination and resilience, changed the face of space exploration, proving that the sky is not the limit, but just the beginning. Have you ever wondered who were the key figures behind America's triumphant space race? More importantly, did you ever think that some of them were African-American women? Now let's embark on an untold journey of remarkable African-American women who were the backbone of America's space exploration. Among these shining stars were Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, three extraordinary women who started their careers at NASA, not as astronauts or engineers, but as members of the West Computers. This group was a segregated unit comprised of African-American women, hired to handle complex aeronautical data during the heated space race. They were the human computers, the unsung heroes of their time, working behind the scenes, their contributions undervalued and unrecognized. Dorothy Vaughan, a retired math teacher, took the reins of this group, becoming the first African-American woman to be a supervisor at NASA in 1949. She led the West Computers with a steady hand, nurturing talent and fostering resilience amidst segregation. Among those she nurtured was Mary Jackson, who joined the West Computers in 1951. Under Vaughan's guidance, Jackson pursued engineering, shattering glass ceilings to become the first black female engineer at NASA in 1958. Then, there was Katherine Johnson, the brilliant mathematician whose calculations were instrumental in John Glenn's 1962 orbital voyage. Her computations were essential to synchronizing Project Apollo's lunar module with the Lunar Orbiting Command and Service Module. Yet her story remained untold until the release of the film Hidden Figures in 2016. All these women, along with the unidentified women from the West Area Computing Group, made significant strides in space exploration while fighting for human rights. They were not just mathematicians and engineers, they were pioneers, challenging the norms of a racially segregated and gender-biased society. These women were not only mathematicians and engineers, they were trailblazers, breaking barriers in a time of racial segregation and gender discrimination. Their legacy is a testament to the power of resilience, brilliance, and determination, inspiring generations to come. Their story is a testament to the fact that the sky is not the limit, it's just the beginning. Now let's delve deeper into the lives of these extraordinary women. Dorothy Vaughan, a name that resonates with resilience and determination, was the first African-American woman to break the racial and gender barriers at NASA. A retired maths teacher, Vaughan joined the space agency in 1949, where she started her career as part of the West Computers, a segregated group of African-American women. She quickly rose through the ranks and became the first African-American woman to hold a supervisory position. Her leadership and unparalleled mathematical skills were instrumental in advancing NASA's space exploration efforts. Mary Jackson, another brilliant mind, joined the West Computers in 1951 under the guidance of Vaughan. Jackson's thirst for knowledge and her passion for engineering led her to pursue a career path that was uncharted for African-American women at the time. She overcame numerous obstacles and became the first black female engineer in 1958. Her contributions to aeronautical data processing significantly impacted the space race. And then there was Katherine Johnson, a woman whose intelligence was as vast as the universe she helped explore. Known for her precise trajectory calculations, Johnson's work was integral to John Glenn's 1962 orbital voyage. Her computations played a crucial role in synchronizing Project Apollo's lunar module with the Lunar Orbiting Command and Service Module. Johnson's work was so accurate that when digital computers were introduced, astronauts, including Glenn himself, insisted on having her verify the computer's calculations before they would trust their lives to the new technology. These women, along with the other unsung heroines of the West Area Computing Group, not only made significant strides in the field of space exploration, but also fought for their rights and equality in a time of segregation and discrimination. Each of these women played a pivotal role in shaping America's journey to space, yet their stories remained hidden for decades. Their courage and tenacity continue to inspire millions as they truly were the pioneers of space exploration. So, how did these hidden figures finally come into the light? Well, the year was 2016, and the silver screen was set to reveal a story that had long been kept in the shadows. The film Hidden Figures was released, with a star-studded cast that wove a narrative of struggle, achievement, and segregation. The story of Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson was finally brought to the forefront. These women, who started out as members of the West Computers, a segregated group of African-American women at NASA, played pivotal roles in space exploration. Yet their stories remained untold for decades, hidden in the annals of history. Hidden Figures portrayed their journey with sincerity, highlighting their struggles against the backdrop of a racially segregated America. The film depicted the challenges they faced, from being overlooked due to their race and gender to breaking barriers within the scientific community. The film's most dramatic scene unfolds when Johnson's boss, played by Kevin Costner, tears down the colored ladies' room sign in defiance against racism. This scene served as a powerful statement against segregation, yet also sparked controversy. Critics argued that the film was whitewashed, focusing too much on the white savior narrative. Theodore Melfi, the film's director, faced criticism for this portrayal. After all, the true heroines of the story were the African-American women whose contributions to space exploration were monumental. Yet, the story of Hidden Figures was also about forging alliances, about standing up against unjust norms, and about the triumph of the human spirit. It was about how these women, despite facing insurmountable odds, managed to leave an indelible mark on history. The film shone a light on their legacy, bringing their hidden stories into the public eye and inspiring countless individuals around the world. Hidden Figures not only told their story but also celebrated their contributions to space exploration and their fight for equality. Although the film has been criticized for its portrayal of white heroes, it does not diminish the remarkable contributions of these African-American women. Their legacy is what truly shines through, a beacon of resilience, strength, and determination. The story of these remarkable women doesn't just stop at their achievements. Their contributions to space exploration, their resilience in the face of adversity, and their determination to break barriers have all left an indelible impact on history. and continue to inspire future generations. Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson were more than just mathematicians and engineers. They were trailblazers who dared to dream and achieve beyond what was expected of them. They were women of color who had to fight twice as hard for their rightful place in a field dominated by white men. Their legacy is seen in every woman of color who dares to dream of reaching for the stars, in every young girl who picks up a science textbook, and in every person who refuses to let their circumstances dictate their future. The legacy of Jackson, Vaughan, and Johnson is a testament to their resilience, intelligence, and determination. They are not just hidden figures, they are luminous stars that continue to inspire us. If you want to keep up to date and get notified when we release new videos, click on like and subscribe. This helps us keep the channel going and lets us know that you're enjoying our content. Have you ever wondered who were the unsung heroines of the early years of the U.S. space program? In the vast expanse of the cosmos, it was not just the astronauts who were pioneering new frontiers. Behind the scenes, a group of brilliant and tenacious women, known as the West Computers, played a pivotal role in the early U.S. space program. These women were African-American mathematicians, computing data and performing complex calculations that would ultimately propel mankind into the stars. Yet their journey wasn't without its challenges. Picture this. The year was 1943. The setting was the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, or NACA, which would later become the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, better known as NASA. The West Computers were working in a segregated section of NACA, a cruel testament to the era of segregation. It was a time when African-American employees were required to use separate restrooms and dining areas. In spite of these hurdles, they were undeterred, their minds focused on the task at hand, reaching for the stars. Their contributions were invaluable, supplying crucial information that would help America succeed in the burgeoning space race. These women were not just mathematicians or human computers, they were pioneers, trailblazers in a field dominated by men, breaking barriers with their intellect and determination. Among these trailblazers, one woman stood out, Dorothy Vaughan. She would go on to become the first African-American manager at NACA, leading the West Computers with grace and tenacity. Vaughan's story, along with the stories of the West Computers, is a testament to the power of perseverance and the pursuit of knowledge, even in the face of adversity. It's a story of courage, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of progress. A story that deserves to be told and remembered. And so, as we look up at the stars and marvel at mankind's achievements in space exploration, let us not forget the unsung heroines who helped us get there. Among these trailblazers, one woman stood out, Dorothy Vaughan. Born in 1910, Dorothy Vaughan was destined to break barriers. This extraordinary woman was a mathematical prodigy, a pioneer capable of pushing beyond the boundaries of her time. In the heart of World War II, in December 1943, Vaughan joined the ranks of the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, or NACA. She was part of the West Area Computing Unit, a team of African-American women mathematicians who were known as human computers. These brilliant women were responsible for performing complex calculations and data analysis for aerospace engineers. Their work was invaluable, laying the groundwork that would later propel the early American space program to great heights. Despite the societal constraints of the time, such as segregated facilities, Vaughan's brilliance could not be dimmed. In 1949, she shattered the glass ceiling by becoming the head of the West Computers, making her the first African-American supervisor at NACA and one of only a handful of female supervisors. When NACA transitioned into the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA, in 1958, Vaughan continued to lead the way. The segregated facilities were closed, and Vaughan, along with many of the West Computers, joined the NASA Analysis and Computation Division, a unit composed of both men and women from diverse backgrounds. As the space program began to utilize electronic computers, Vaughan adapted and became an authority in Fortran, a computer programming language used for complex scientific and algebraic computations. Her expertise in this field was instrumental in the continued success of the space program. However, all good things must come to an end. After a long and illustrious career of breaking barriers and making significant contributions to the U.S. space program, Vaughn decided to retire in 1971, but her legacy lived on and continues to inspire countless individuals to this day. Her story, along with the stories of the other West computers, was brought to light in the acclaimed book and subsequent movie Hidden Figures. In 1971, Vaughn decided to hang up her boots and retired from NASA. Her story is a testament to resilience, determination, and the power of the human mind. Dorothy Vaughn's story might have remained untold if not for a book. A pivotal moment came in 2016 when a book by Margot Lee Shetterly titled Hidden Figures: The American Dream and the Untold Story of the Black Women Mathematicians Who Helped Win the Space Race was published. The book, a captivating chronicle of Vaughn's contributions and achievements, brought to light the vital role played by Vaughn and the West computers in the success of the early American space program. The book's adaptation into a critically acclaimed movie the same year, starring Octavia Spencer as Vaughn, further amplified her story and contributions to a global audience. Vaughn's legacy, encapsulated in this inspiring narrative, continues to resonate and inspire today. Vaughn's journey from a human computer to a respected leader and a programming expert is a testament to her resilience, intelligence, and determination. Dorothy Vaughan, a truly remarkable woman, a pioneer and an unsung hero of the early U.S. space program, continues to inspire generations. Ever wonder who the woman was behind the successful moon landing? Well, folks, let me introduce you to Katherine Johnson. Born into the humble town of White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, in late August 1918, Johnson cultivated an early fascination with numbers. This passion, paired with her unparalleled talent, led her to a career with the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, or NACA. Here, Johnson was a part of the West Area Computing Unit, a team made up of brilliant African-American women. Together, they manually completed intricate mathematical calculations for the program's engineers. This was during a time when segregation was the norm, and yet these women managed to break barriers and contribute to the success of the early American space program. Katherine Johnson was more than just a mathematician. She was a trailblazer, breaking barriers in a time of segregation, proving that the sky was not her limit, but rather her playground. Katherine Johnson's career at NASA was nothing short of extraordinary. Her journey began in the West Area Computing Unit of the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, or NACA, where she worked alongside other African-American women. Together, they formed a team known as the West Computers, performing intricate mathematical calculations and data analysis for the engineers of the early American space program. In 1958, NACA transitioned into what we now know as NASA, and Katherine joined the Space Task Group. Here, she co-authored a research paper on orbital calculations for spacecraft in 1960. This was a pivotal moment, not just for Katherine, but for women in the field, as it marked the first time a woman in her division had been acknowledged as an author of a research report. Over her career, she would go on to write or contribute to 26 research reports. Katherine was not just a mathematician behind the scenes, she was a key player in NASA's crewed spaceflight program, Mercury. It was Katherine who determined the trajectory for Freedom 7, the spacecraft that launched Alan B. Shepard Jr., the first American astronaut into space. When John Glenn was preparing for his historic orbit around the Earth, he requested that Katherine verify the electronic computer's flight calculations. Once she had given her approval, Glenn went on to make history. But Katherine's contributions didn't stop there. She played a crucial role in the Apollo 11 mission, helping to determine the optimal time and location for the rocket launch that would send the first 3 men to the moon. Even after this monumental achievement, Katherine continued to contribute to the space program, working on the Space Shuttle project before retiring in 1986. Katherine Johnson's work at NASA was instrumental in the success of the American space program. Her unparalleled talent for numbers, her dedication, and her tenacity in the face of adversity helped to shape the course of space exploration as we know it. But Katherine Johnson's impact extends far beyond her work at NASA. Her pioneering spirit and unparalleled talent for numbers have etched her name in the annals of history, not just in the field of space exploration, but as a trailblazer for women and people of color in the sciences. Over the course of her career, Katherine received numerous awards and recognitions. Perhaps the most notable among these was the Presidential Medal of Freedom, awarded to her in 2015 by then President Barack Obama. This prestigious accolade is the highest civilian award in the United States, recognizing extraordinary individuals who have made significant contributions to the security or national interests of the country, to world peace, or to cultural or other significant public or private endeavors. In 2016, NASA further honored Catherine by naming the Katherine G. Johnson Computational Research Facility in her honor. This state-of-the-art facility stands as a testament to Catherine's enduring impact on the field of space exploration and computational mathematics. Catherine's contributions, along with those of other West computers, were brought to light in the book Hidden Figures: The American Dream, and the untold story of the Black women mathematicians who helped win the space race. Written by Margot Lee Shetterly, the book delves into the lives and contributions of these remarkable women. That same year, a movie adaptation of the book was released, further propelling Catherine and her colleagues into the public consciousness. Even after her passing, Catherine's story continues to inspire. Her memoir, My Remarkable Journey, co-written with Joylette Heilich and Catherine Moore, was released posthumously in 2021. The memoir offers an intimate look into Catherine's life, her struggles, and her extraordinary achievements, serving as an inspiration to future generations. Katherine Johnson's legacy is a testament to the power of perseverance, intelligence, and breaking barriers. Her life and work continue to inspire countless individuals around the world, reminding us that with hard work and determination, the sky is quite literally not the limit. Katherine Johnson's story is a reminder that heroes come in all shapes and sizes. Her narrative is one of resilience, determination, and an extraordinary passion for numbers. She was an unseen heroine, working behind the scenes, her calculations propelling us beyond the Earth's atmosphere and into the vast expanse of space. For over 3 decades, Catherine served as the mathematical backbone of the U.S. space program. She calculated, analyzed, and meticulously verified the flight paths of numerous spacecraft. But her contribution went beyond mere calculations. She was instrumental in breaking down barriers, shattering glass ceilings, and paving the way for future generations of women, particularly African-American women in the fields of science and mathematics. She began her journey at a time when the world was a different place. Segregation was the norm, and opportunities for African-American women were few and far between. But Catherine didn't let societal norms dictate her path. She joined the West Area Computing Unit of the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, or NACA, working alongside other African-American women. Together, they became known as the West Computers, their intricate calculations crucial to the success of the early American space program. When NACA transitioned into NASA, Catherine continued her journey, her love for numbers undiminished. She co-authored a research report on orbital calculations for spacecraft, the first woman in her division to achieve such a feat. Her calculations determined the course for Freedom 7, the spacecraft that launched Alan B. Shepard Jr., the first American astronaut, into space. She was also a part of the team that figured out the optimal time and location for the launch of Apollo 11, the mission that took the first 3 men to the moon. Katherine Johnson was a true heroine, a woman whose love for numbers helped us reach the stars. She was a beacon of hope, a symbol of what is possible when passion meets perseverance. Her legacy continues to inspire, reminding us that the sky is not the limit, but rather a stepping stone to greater heights. Do you know who was the first African-American woman to work as an engineer at NASA? That would be Mary Jackson, an American mathematician and aerospace engineer born on April 9, 1921, in Hampton, Virginia. She graced the world with her genius and tenacity until her death on February 11, 2005. Mary Jackson wasn't just an average engineer. She broke barriers and shattered glass ceilings as the first African-American woman to earn the title of engineer at the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or as we more commonly know it, NASA. This was back in 1958, a time when the societal odds were stacked against her. Her intellect, resilience, and unwavering determination allowed her to rise above the challenges and carve out a space for herself in history. Born and raised in Hampton, Virginia, Mary Jackson's journey to NASA was not an easy one. Mary Jackson's academic prowess was evident from a young age. Hailing from Hampton, Virginia, her exceptional talent for numbers and curiosity for the physical world guided her to a dual degree in mathematics and physical sciences. This academic feat was achieved at the prestigious Hampton Institute, today known as Hampton University, in the year 1942. Her achievements didn't stop there. She graduated from high school with the highest honors, reflecting her dedication and the breadth of her intellectual capabilities. After graduation, she took her passion for mathematics to Maryland, where she spent a year imparting knowledge to young minds as a maths teacher. Her life took an interesting turn when she decided to return to Hampton. It was here that she married Levi Jackson and set her sights on an extraordinary journey. Upon returning to Hampton, Mary Jackson married Levi Jackson and embarked on a career path that would change her life. In 1951, Jackson began working for the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, or NACA. This was a time when segregation was prevalent, and as a black woman, she was assigned to the West Area Computing Unit. This was a group of African-American female mathematicians under the supervision of Dorothy Vaughan, who provided crucial data for the success of the U.S. space program. Yet, despite their significant contributions, these women were subject to the harsh realities of segregation, even within the workplace. After a couple of years, Jackson transitioned from the computing unit to work with engineer Kazimierz Czarnecki in 1953. Together, they conducted experiments in a high-speed wind tunnel. Recognizing her potential, Czarnecki recommended that she pursue a career in engineering. However, this was no easy feat. Virginia's schools were segregated, and Jackson needed special permission to take classes with white students. Undeterred, she persisted, completed the necessary coursework, and paved the way for her future success. As 1958 rolled around, a significant shift occurred. NACA was dissolved and integrated into the newly formed National Aeronautics and Space Administration, better known as NASA. This presented Jackson with a unique opportunity. She seized it, breaking through both racial and gender barriers to become the first black female engineer at NASA. Her work primarily focused on the analysis of airflow around aircraft, providing valuable insights to the burgeoning space program. Jackson's journey was not just about her personal achievements, but it was also about setting the stage for future generations. Her determination in the face of adversity, her persistence in the pursuit of education, and her breakthrough in a predominantly white male industry all contributed to a larger narrative. A narrative of progress, of breaking down barriers, of challenging the status quo. And so, in 1958, Mary Jackson overcame societal barriers to become the first black female engineer at NASA. Mary Jackson dedicated 2 decades of her life to aerospace engineering. Her work primarily revolved around understanding the dynamics of airflow around aircraft, a critical aspect of aerodynamics that significantly influences flight performance. However, despite her contributions and early promotions, she faced barriers when it came to ascending to management-level positions. Undeterred, in 1979, she made the bold decision to leave engineering and accept a demotion to manage NASA's women's program. Her objective was clear: to expand opportunities for all women within the organization. 6 years later, in 1985, Jackson decided it was time to hang up her hat and announced her retirement. Though Mary Jackson passed away in 2005, her contributions to the space program and the fight for gender and racial equality continue to inspire many today. Her legacy serves as a beacon, illuminating the path for those who dare to dream, break barriers, and reach for the stars. If you want to keep up to date and get notified when we release new videos, click on like and subscribe. This helps us keep the channel going and lets us know that you're enjoying our content.